So the two top contenders for the presidency at the moment, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, um, they are both refusing to do debates. Okay, so here's what Maggie Haberman says. Folks wanted a loyalty pledge that basically only benefits the candidate who's now intimating he may be skipping debates. So what she's talking about is the RNC tried to strong arm Trump a little bit, and they said in order to participate in the debates, we're going to make everybody sign a loyalty pledge that whoever becomes the eventual Republican nominee will be supported by you. Now, Trump is very likely going to be the Republican nominee, but in the rare instance he's not, he ain't going to support the person. There's no way. It's more likely he would run as an independent candidate or a third-party candidate than it is that he would support whoever would beat him. It's just not in him. He can't do it. He just can't do it. So the strong arm attempt, of course, didn't work. Trump comes out and says this: I see that everybody is talking about the Republican debates, but nobody got my approval or the approval of the Trump campaign before announcing them. When you're leading by seemingly insurmountable numbers and you have hostile networks with angry Trump and MAGA-hating anchors asking the questions, why subject yourself to being libeled and abused? Also, the second debate is being held at the Reagan Library, the chairman of which is, amazingly, Fred Ryan, publisher of the Washington Post. No! Wow. So the sense I get from this comment is he really does feel entitled to the nomination. He's a spoiled brat. He's a pampered little prick, and he feels entitled to it. And also, he does not tolerate any sort of dissent. Basically, if you're like quote-unquote anti-Trump, he views you as illegitimate. You can't partake in the conversation. You can't ask questions. And, I mean, think about that mindset, man. Trump hating as if like, well, then you don't count. No, hold on now. The way it works is if you have faith in your ideas and your policies and your message and your ideology, you should be willing to take any and all comers. You should be willing to deal with 2% dissent and 99% dissent, especially when you're running for president. Again, you're not entitled to the nomination, and you're certainly not entitled to the presidency. But by the way, he still feels that way even about the 2020 race. He lost the popular vote by 7 million votes, and he still runs around telling people he won the election and he's the rightful president. I mean, this is Looney Tunes stuff. But look at that wording. The wording is, I'm entitled to this. How dare you? Nobody got my approval for debates. Why should anybody need your approval for debates? You're a candidate. You're running to serve the people. So part of serving the people is you need to present your ideas to the people and put them up to scrutiny and joust with the other candidates. It's all obvious. Now, of course, you're going to have people on the Democratic side point this out and rightly mock it and say, look, he acts like he's a macho man and he's a tough guy, but really, he ran away from Megyn Kelly in 2016. You remember that? He skipped one of the debates because Megyn Kelly treats me very, very unfairly. The only candidate who's like, nah, this isn't okay. I'm going to go to my safe space. He's the only one who does it, right? And the Democrats will point this out, and they're correct too. But then you have with Joe Biden, hold on now, you're dodging Marianne Williamson. You're dodging RFK. Now, by the way, I'm not a fan of RFK Jr. I mean, he's a massive vaccine skeptic. But he was polling at 14% among Biden voters. Marianne Williamson was polling at 10% in a recent poll, and even higher, 14% in the swing states, and doing even better with younger people. Crucial demographics, right? That you need to do well with. The threshold that people used to talk about to get on the debate stage was like 1% or 2%, or at the absolute highest, 3%. And now we have people in double digits, and Biden's acting like, I'm not going to debate them. Not even acknowledging their existence. No, call it what it is. That's just as pampered as Trump. That's just as entitled and elitist as Trump. You can't do the whole like pearl clutching, what about democracy thing if you are against having democracy in your own party primary. You can't make that argument. You can't say those things because it's totally hollow and vapid. It's total BS. But that, by the way, that was Biden's launch video. Biden's launch video was packed to the brim with freedom, democracy, voting rights. But then you have two candidates running against you who are polling pretty well, given that they came out of nowhere. And you're like, who? What? No, I'm not going to debate, man. Joe absolutely needs to debate his challengers. He absolutely does. And Trump absolutely needs to debate in the Republican primaries. Look, I've had enough of this with these entitled losers. There should be a law that if you're running for president and you're polling above like 1% or 2%, whatever it is, I mean, we could work out the specifics later on, but there needs to be a law that you are mandated to do debates. If you want to be a politician, if you want to serve the people, if you want that immense responsibility, you have to put yourself up to scrutiny. You have to, have a challenge directly with other candidates. And I'm not even saying debates are the best way to determine who's the best candidate. They're not. But it's some semblance of transparency, which the people deserve. So, it's like, I feel like everybody gets more pathetic the more time goes by. These politicians become more pampered and entitled and hypocritical. And I'm just sick of it, man. It's so gross. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.